Hi, welcome to Comics and Cosplay. I'm your host Ian from Saturday Morning Cosplay, and in today's episode we will continue our countdown series. In this episode we will feature the 10 characters in much need of a costume update for 2014. Twenty 2013 saw the update and the creation of many new costumes for a lot of characters, but unfortunately, these characters were left out and are in the most dire need of an update for next year. Coming in at number 10 is Stargirl from Justice League of America. Her character costume is pretty basic and looks like a bad knockoff of Captain America, plus her exposed midriff makes her look childish and immature. She kind of looks like a contestant in a preteen Miss America pageant. Hopefully the editors will update this costume and create something a little bit more serious for the character. Coming in at number 9, and guys, don't tell the ladies this, but I'm not a fan of the Captain Marvel costume. I just don't love it, and I know she's a huge icon and symbol for female comic readers, but I think it's not the greatest costume design, plus the color palette of red, blue, and yellow is really hard to make look well, and that's why you don't see it that often in comics. Hopefully someone will update it or modify it a little bit so it's much more appealing and pleasing to the eye. Coming in at number 8 is Deadshot from Suicide Squad. Now he's supposed to be the most lethal, deadly assassin marksman in the DC universe, but what's really killing us is that costume. The bright red and yellow just don't go together. Plus, how many assassins do you know wear bright red? It makes it kind of hard to blend into the crowd when you look like a giant stop sign. Hopefully they'll give him something much more fitting for his assassin persona. Coming in at number 7 is Bishop from Uncanny X-Force. Now Bishop has never had great costumes, but his new costume has reached an all-time low. He looks like a mixture between Clint Eastwood and Bob Marley. The orange duster and dreadlocks don't really seem to fit together, especially with the new backstory that he's been taught by Tibetan monks, yet he now has a costume that looks like he's straight out of the Wild Wild West. Does that make sense to you? Coming in at number 6 is Cable from Cable and the X-Force. Now Cable's always had an amazing costumes, but his new one doesn't make sense. I understand the eye patch, but what I don't get is the new clunky arm. It's giant and oversized. He looks like he should be in a factory putting together Honda Civics and not running an elite killer squad. I guess in the future, mutants weren't the only victims, but fashion as well. Coming in at number 5 is Falcon from the Avengers. Thankfully, they closed up the Disco Stu V he had down the center of his chest, but they still need to do a lot more work on this character. The red and white just don't fit together, nor does it really represent a Falcon. Hopefully they can capitalize on this character's potential and give him a much needed update, especially with the new movie coming out next year. Coming in at number 4 is Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. Now Star-Lord has never had a great costume, but at least he had a cool mask and other things he could work with. The new update with the yellow lightning bolts and black tights doesn't make sense. He kind of looks like an Eastern European figure skater. And what doesn't make sense either is that the costume doesn't seem like it's going to be used for the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but I don't understand a lot of things they're doing with this book, so hopefully they'll fix it next year. Coming in at number 3 is Rogue from Uncanny Avengers. Now it pains me that Rogue is on this list and even so high, but her current green and white costume is just not working. The hood makes her look like a woodland creature. Hopefully her current state in the Marvel Universe will give them a scapegoat for a much needed update in 2014. Coming in at number 2 is Luke Cage from Mighty Avengers. Luke Cage has one of the worst costumes possible in the Marvel Universe. It's lazy, uninteresting, and doesn't make sense. Take this for example. When was the last time you went to Harlem and saw the biggest, toughest guy wearing a bright canary yellow shirt? Yeah, I've never seen that either. Hopefully Marvel will fix this costume and create something that's much more interesting, especially since he's the team leader of the new Mighty Avengers book. Coming in at number 1 and winning the grand prize for much needed costume update in 2014 is Cyclops from Uncanny X-Men. Now Cyclops is one of my favorite characters, but I really don't like his new design. I mean, it works to a certain point and then it just kind of falls apart. The black with red trim is a great look, but the part that makes the whole costume fall apart is his visor. They've taken away his most iconic piece of his uniform and added this weird red X over his face. The reason it doesn't work is because you don't know what that X is. Is it fabric? Is it some special material that lets blasts out? And why isn't it blown off his face every time he does an I-beam? Marvel's never even tried to explain this or how it works. To me, it's just kind of goofy and doesn't work, especially since he just had an amazing costume in AVX with the Phoenix Force 5 costume. So Marvel, please do me a favor and update his costume for 2014. And that's it for our top 10 characters that need an update in 2014. Let us know what you think. Do you think someone should be added or removed from this list? Let us know in the comments section down below. Also, make sure you check out my weekly cosplay article on bleedingcool.com called Bleeding Cosplay, where I feature some of the best cosplayers from around the world. Make sure you subscribe and like this video so I know that you like these new list format type videos. Well, that's our show for today, and as always, I'm your host Ian from Saturday Morning Cosplay, and I'll see you on the con floor.